Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. May the 4th is Star Wars Day, so like I said in the intro, I thought it would be cool to make a video about some of the flags and symbols in the Star Wars universe. As a huge Star Wars fan myself, this was just a good excuse to talk about it on the channel. So let's get started and take a look at some of the symbols in the Star Wars universe. These symbols are usually present on banners or standards, and from my understanding, these sort of replace flags in Star Wars. Now, if you're a fan, you're gonna have corrections to make on what I'm gonna say, so just a disclaimer, I got all of this information off of the Star Wars Wiki website. Now, there are two main factions that oppose each other in most timelines of Star Wars. The Republic versus the Confederacy, the Rebels versus the Empire, in these new movies mostly represented by the First Order, and the Jedi versus the Sith, so usually good versus evil. Let's start with the Republic. The Old Republic used this symbol. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't really find any sort of explanation for the meaning of it. The only similarity that I could find was to the symbol of the Jedi Order, so if you know, leave a comment below. Moving on to the symbol of the Galactic Republic, present in movies 1 to 3. The Galactic Roundel, an 8-rayed stellar symbol, centered in a circle whose circumference is made up of dashed lines. The origin of this symbol is supposed to be the Bendu. Bendu was a collection of non-confrontational beliefs practiced by the Bendu monks. The symbol of Bendu was a circle connected by 8 spokes, which represented the unification of the galaxy by the Force. So essentially, it would be a religious symbol that was adapted to represent the Republic. There are also a bunch of variants and other symbols that represent the Senate or the Coruscant security force, for instance. The main adversary of the Republic, at least in the prequel movies, was the Confederacy of Independent Systems and also the Trade Federation. So let's take a look at those two. The CIS symbol was this roundel, somewhat similar to the Republic roundel actually. The CIS was the Confederacy of Independent Systems, so it was essentially those who didn't want to be ruled by the Galactic Republic and Senate, and it also represented separatist holdouts within the Republic. There is also the symbol of the Trade Federation, very present in movie 1 as the enemy. Their symbol is the letter F, which I suppose stands for Federation. It's surrounded by stars inside of a circle. There are also other specific symbols inside the CIS, like General Grievous's symbol, this one, which represents his cape. After the prequels, we have the, main factions of Star Wars, present in the first movies 4, 5, and 6, and all of the recent ones, the Empire and Rebels. So let's start with the Empire. The Empire's main symbol is adapted from the Galactic Republic one. After all, the Empire is the successor of the Republic. Chancellor Palpatine took power and became the Emperor. So, the Imperial crest is really an adaptation of the Republic crest, with the main difference being the reduction from 8 to 6 spokes, maybe to reduce the relation with the Bendu religion, since the Empire's values wouldn't exactly be the same. Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars also used a 6-spoke version of the Republic insignia, so maybe that could be the reason that it changed as well. And the Republic/Empire used the 6-spoke version in the intermediate stage after Palpatine started exerting his emergency powers, then transitioning into the Empire, and with further changes becoming the Imperial crest. This symbol was designed by a man called John Molo, who was the costume designer for some of the early Star Wars films. He said that he based the Imperial insignia on shapes used in 18th century fortifications. In the movies, the symbol is associated with the might of the Empire, and its presence on the world signifies Imperial control. In the most recent movies, the Empire is mostly represented by the First Order, which has a similar but slightly different symbol, a hexagon with a circle inside it with 16 spokes. Moving on to the Rebel Alliance, their main symbol was this one, the Starbird. It's very present in Rebel pilots' helmets, for instance. It appears to have its roots in the Phoenix/Starbird graffiti, designed by Sabine Wren, one of the first members of the rebellion. There is also the symbol of Saw Gerrera, who is shown in the Rogue One movie. This symbol apparently originated from the rebels of the planet Onderon during the Clone Wars, and it was later combined with Sabine Wren's Starbird to create the crest of the Rebel Alliance. So, the main symbol of the rebels was in fact the Starbird, usually depicted in red. If we take into account the Phoenix idea, it could represent the rising of freedom from the ashes of the Republic. It also resembled the emblem of the Jedi Order, which we're going to take a look at in a second. After being used by the rebels, it became the symbol of the Resistance, and later on it was adopted by the New Republic. Moving on to the cooler people, the people with the lightsabers. Throughout the history of the Sith, its members represented themselves with various symbols, sometimes on their body or on their ships. One could argue that the Imperial symbol sort of also represents the Sith, given that the Emperor Palpatine was a Sith. The only other canon symbol that I could find exclusive to the Sith was this one, and to be honest, I couldn't really find the meaning of it. But given that the Sith are driven by emotions such as hate, anger, greed, deception, and accumulation of power, you could say that by representing the Sith Order, this symbol also represents those values. There are also other symbols that aren't canon, like the old Sith symbol. Finally, we have the Jedi, the good guys, defenders of the galaxy. Their symbol of wings and what looks like a shining light represents their role and beliefs, and the light probably represents the bright side of the Force. The Jedi serve as guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, so you could say that the symbol also represents those values. It's somewhat similar to the Rebel symbol that we saw earlier, and there's also a symbol for Jedi younglings, the children apprentices. It would also be interesting to take a look at the meaning of flags of planets within the Star Wars universe, but to my knowledge there aren't any official flags. There is, however, a project by a guy called Scott Conrad Kelly called Flags of the Galaxy, where he designed flags for a bunch of planets in the Star Wars universe. In my opinion, these are all incredibly cool, featuring symbols that we associate with the planets, like the weapons on the flag of Geonosis, the flag of the ice world of Hoth, the two suns in Tatooine, the platforms in Mustafar, the forest in Endor, the flag of Naboo, the flag of Kashyyyk, home of the Wookiees, the center of the Republic in Coruscant, or even the flag of the Death Star. So, if you like these ones, check out the link in the description and see a full list of the planet flags and the Flags of the Galaxy website. So there we go, a few of the official symbols and concept flags in the Star Wars universe. I'm sure I must have missed a lot of things and gotten a few wrong, so by all means, comment any corrections that you have. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to catch future videos and leave a comment below. I will see you next time. Happy Star Wars Day, and most importantly, may the Force be with you.